This is News 8 Now, this morning.
This will be an additional point of conversation that we can have with people, that you don't have to wait to get into your VA center. You can go to your local healthcare center and get support.
I want to help us find ways to identify kids who are struggling in emotional ways better, because they don't always tell us that. And so how can we identify kids who are struggling sooner? Because the sooner you can identify them, the sooner you can get them connected to the resources and support that they need.
Given everything that we understand about the benefits that we can gain from having animals in our bed sleeping with us, I think, yes, having them sleep with us is a great idea.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for watching News 8 Now. I'm Dua Shrard, that's Derek Sibley. It's Wednesday, January 18th. Thanks for waking up alongside us. We're going to start off with weather. Derek, I was saying, I got used to this kind of warm weather for January, and I started wearing a light jacket, but I stepped out today, and it was a lot colder, actually.
Yeah, we actually had that front move through earlier, Dua, and that actually gave us some cooler temperatures for us to work with. Now, we have another one associated with the storm system that is also going to be giving us plenty of snow. We'll get to that here a little bit later. But as of right now, as you head outside the door, our current temperatures are in those low 30s. We got current temperatures right now in La Crosse at 34, but Winona is currently much cooler than that, with a temperature reading of 32 degrees. And you can see all the widespread cloudy conditions all across the area this morning. These clouds are not going away, so we're not expected to see any sun here for a while here, as a matter of fact. Cloudy weather conditions today with temperatures warming up only into the mid-30s, but at least another fairly mild day, to say the least, with some snow showers that could arrive, especially down to the south as we head into those early evening hours. Keep in mind, too, that we have upgrades from our winter weather advisory, or winter storm watch, I should say, from yesterday, which has now been upgraded to a winter storm warning all across the Coulee region. This is going to start at 9 p.m. tonight and go until 6 p.m. tomorrow for heavy snow that could become a good possibility here, Dua. We'll talk about that in just a bit.
Thanks, Derek. And it's also an alert day today?
That is correct.
All right. So we'll be keeping up with that later. Yep. Thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news this morning. This morning, we start the day with the passing of one of our own. The WKBT family and Wisconsin broadcasting community have lost one of its greatest supporters. Former WKBT station manager and Wisconsin Broadcast Hall of Famer Ed Hutchings died on Sunday at the age of 92. Hutchings came to WKBT out of school in 1956 to jump headfirst into the then new medium of TV. He rose through the ranks over 17 years here at WKBT and eventually became the station manager. In 1986, he bought the Transamerica School of Broadcasting and rebranded it as the Madison Media Institute. He led that school for more than 2 decades to inspire and shape future broadcasters. Private memorial services will be held for Ed at a later date. 31-year-old Joshua Mogo of Chippewa Falls is in police custody with charges of first-degree attempted homicide and 5 other charges. Police say the woman who was shot in the house with 2 children while watching TV when Mogo, her ex-boyfriend, walked in and pointed a gun at her. The woman and her roommate got the children into another room before Mogo allegedly shot her. By the time police got there, he was gone. 2 hours later, while police were still searching, Mogo turned himself in. Police found the gun near the house. Mogo was in police custody earlier this month on other misdemeanor charges, but posted $500 cash bond on Thursday the 12th. The shooting happened Saturday night, the 14th. In Winona, a 17-year-old is in the hospital facing life-threatening injuries after a head-on crash with a school bus. The accident happened just after 6 a.m. Tuesday morning in Winona County. The 17-year-old was the only person in his car when the collision happened, while a 43-year-old Winona man was the only person in the school bus at the time. The bus driver was sent to Winona Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The crash is currently under investigation. Mayo Clinic Health System is bringing together Southside area community members. News 8 Now's Anna Fisher attended Mayo's community workshop, where she says residents were passionate and ready for change.
Several local businesses have partnered together, hoping to make their vision for the future of Southside area neighborhoods a reality. At Lincoln Middle School, Mayo Clinic Health System hosted a community workshop to discuss what they're calling the Near South Side Neighborhood Visioning.
the hope is that all of the institutions and members of the community in this part of town will work together to have future plans.
Will Kratt, a leader with design firm ISG, is heading the Vision Project.
Everybody likes to focus on quality of life, especially with, you know, the recent challenges we've had with epidemics and stuff like that. You know, people want to know how they can improve their lives and how they can improve the lives of other community members.
Attendees broke up into groups to talk about one of 6 project aspects. I sat down with one table to talk affordable housing.
We're going to need to be more elsewhere, and the problem is where you're going to put it, and secondly, how are you going to pay for it? So.
Southside resident Robert McDonald hopes to improve generational gaps by getting to know his neighbors.
Sometimes our generation, and maybe the generations ahead of us, you know, you get older and you forget how much fun it is to be a kid, and you got to allow kids to be kids. But it's very important to get to know them.
The Near Southside Neighborhood Visioning Project launched a new survey specific to housing and plans on having their 3rd and final meeting toward the end of February. Reporting from La Crosse, I'm Anna Fisher, News 8 Now.
The city of La Crosse was not involved in this meeting or the project, and we've reached out to the city for comment but have not heard back yet. West Salem's Village Board has approved a public safety referendum to put on the April ballot. The question will ask village residents to approve a tax levy increase of $500,000 to hire, train, and equip 3 more police officers. That tax levy increase would begin in the 2024 fiscal year and continue each year afterward. Earlier this month, the board president told News 8 Now the current police staffing does not allow for 24/7 village coverage, and this referendum would fix that lack of coverage. We've got the exact language of that question and other additional information posted on our website at news8000.com. Well, happening today, another community conversation with Ukrainian refugees. The La Crosse Interfaith Leaders Coalition is inviting everyone for a noon presentation at the English Lutheran Church. The La Crosse Welcome Circle has been helping refugees get settled in the Coulee region. People can meet Ukrainian newcomers and talk to them about their experiences. The event will also be streamed online. We'll have a link posted on our website. La Crosse students are hosting a special screening of a film at the Rivoli later today. The film is called Sold. It's based on real stories of people being trafficked. Before the film starts, there will be a presentation by Restorative Inc. It's a Coulee region nonprofit that helps with free tattoo and branding removal for victims of human trafficking. The movie starts at 7:30 p.m. and is free, but donations will be accepted, and we'll have more information about that posted on news8000.com. La Crosse is making close ties with friends from across the globe. Today at noon, Mayor Mitch Reynolds will make La Crosse's sister city friendship with Jung Lister Luxembourg official. Jung Lister will be La Crosse's 8th sister city. It will also be the first time La Crosse has done a virtual signing of a sister city document. The public is welcome to attend this meeting in person at City Hall or stream it virtually. Well, still ahead on your morning news, a new poll tells us why a high percent of Americans skipped or put off medical care last year. And having trouble understanding your internet bill? You're not alone. Consumer Reports show how you can tell if you're paying too much for your internet and what are some ways that you can save. But for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Mayor Michelle Wu was busy on MLK Jr. Day. The mayor made her way to Symphony Hall for the performance of the Boston Children's Chorus and their 20th annual Martin Luther King Day concert. And for the first time, Mayor Wu performed at the Symphony Hall stage as the mayor. The theme for this year's concert was Becoming King. It focused on Dr. King's early years and his path to becoming a civil rights icon. Well, don't go anywhere. More News 8 Now is after this break.
Well, it sure is a pretty nice start here to the day. It looks like yesterday was a bit more gloomy here than today, with some drier conditions outside right now, with current temperature readings in the low 30s. It's 32 right now in Winona, 33 right now in Eau Claire, and we're looking at temperatures into the low 30s pretty much everywhere else here this morning here too. Let's get check 9 your zone forecast. La Crosse County today looking at highs reaching those low 30s as well. Some spots down to southern La Crosse County will be reaching highs into the mid to upper 30s though. 32 degrees degrees today in Viroqua. Meanwhile, towards our central zones, we're looking at highs today reaching those mid-30s in many spots. Osseo today looking at a high of 34. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, highs reach around 33 degrees. So for your schoolcast out there this morning, cloudy skies, temperatures at 34. That will continue for the lunch hour here too. And then by this afternoon, still looking cloudy temperatures, warming up to roughly a high of around 38 degrees. But stay tuned. We're going to have a check on your full weather forecast. That'll be next in weather.
Nearly 40% of Americans say they skipped or put off seeking medical care last year due to high costs, according to a new Gallup poll. That's a 12-point increase over the previous year amid the highest inflation rate in more than 4 decades. The survey found low-income Americans were likely to delay receiving health care, with 27% of respondents admitting they skipped treatments for very or somewhat serious illnesses. Apple is upgrading 2 popular devices with its newest generation of computer chips. Tuesday, the tech giant launched 2 new chips, the M2 Pro and the M2 Max. Apple praises both chips as being more powerful and versatile than ever. They will use the chips to upgrade their new Mac Mini and the MacBook Pro. The upgraded version of both computers are planned to go on sale on January 24th. When was the last time you took a close look to see how much you're actually paying for your internet service? Consumer Reports wanted to know what people were paying, so it collected tens of thousands of bills. And what it found might surprise you, and you may want to take action to save some money.
How much are you paying for your internet? If you grabbed your bill but are confused and still can't find the answer, guess what? You're not alone.
And knowing how much you pay for it is important, so you can budget on a month-to-month basis of having this essential service.
Consumer Reports spent more than 8 months analyzing more than 22,000 internet bills submitted by people from all across the country. Amidst lines of charges and fees, determining the true price of internet proved to be challenging.
A lot of consumers bundle it with their TV or their phone service, and some providers have a separate line item for internet service, but others do not. They just have one price for bundled service, and you can't really tell on that sort of bill what part of that bundle is paying for your broadband service.
The NCTA Internet and Television Association, a trade group, disagrees and says cable providers continue to provide consumers with transparent billing information on their websites and promotional materials. CR also found prices for internet service varied widely.
We found people paying for subpar broadband service, like 5 to 10 megabits per second download speeds, were paying on average the same as people getting 100, 300 megabits per second.
How can you make sure you're getting the best possible deal? First, make sure you're getting the speed you're paying for. You can use internet speed tests at Speed Test by Ookla or MLab. Next, call your provider to find out what you're actually paying for each month. Then start to negotiate with your provider and buy a top-rated router to avoid recurring monthly rental fees. This is David Fazekas.
Consumer Reports says you may also be able to save by enrolling in paperless billing and monthly auto-pay programs.
Well, this morning we are waking up to a much drier start than what we had yesterday, but that is going to change here pretty quickly, and we'll get to that in just a bit. Current conditions now from La Crosse, cloudy skies here, 34 degrees, visibility looking clear at around 10 miles, and towards the north, same story here for that visibility in Eau Claire, but you're also looking cloudy though, temperatures at around 34 degrees here for you. Now, as you head out the door, many locations this morning are into the low to mid 30s here as well. A little bit cooler here in Winona at 32, much colder towards the west and southeast Minnesota, where we're waking up to temperatures in the 20s there. A little bit warmer though in Boscobel for you. You're currently at 34 degrees. Now, our forecast high temperatures today will be on the mild side yet again, as high temperatures will be into the mid 30s. Some spots like Boscobel around 36 today, but look at La Crosse. We're expecting highs to reach 38 degrees, very close to nearing that 40 degree mark here yet again today, with cloudy skies expected all day long, but we do expect some snow showers to start moving in as early as 8 o'clock this evening or so, and at the same time those temperatures will then be allowed to fall to around 32 degrees. Now, here's the current setup. We're watching this low pressure system back to our west across the south central U.S., providing plenty of rain showers, even some stormy weather here on the south side of the system, but back towards the west side, plenty of snow that is developing. And in fact, you can see on the north side of this low, we're looking at widespread snowy weather here across the central U.S., mainly across Nebraska, also back towards the west over portions of Colorado and also portions of Wyoming and even South Dakota here. Now, all of this is heading in our general direction, and because of that, the National Weather Service has issued more winter weather alerts. In fact, our winter storm watch from yesterday has now been upgraded to a winter storm warning. So this is going to start at 9 p.m. tonight and then go until 6 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And that's because we could be looking at some of that snow turning heavy at times here too. So something that we'll be following here as this low pressure system continues to march in our general direction. In fact, you can see all the snowy weather here on the north side of that low as it continues to track in our general direction here throughout tonight and also into the day tomorrow. Now, around tomorrow afternoon, I do think a lot of this is going to come to a close once that system exits the area. And then you can see behind it, we will be looking at northwesterly winds as high pressure begins to move in, and that should help dry things out. So let's time this a little bit more locally here. And you can see by the time we reach 6 p.m., more snow here begins to move in across our south zones. That's going to move north and become more widespread across the area overnight tonight, and then pretty much continue into early tomorrow morning here too. As we reach tomorrow afternoon, some scattered snow showers are still possible in portions of the area, and then by tomorrow evening, late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening, I should say, only a few leftover snow showers are possible. Now, as far as how much snow we could be looking around here, anywhere between that 4 to 8 inch mark in many spots, and of course locally higher totals are also possible in some of those heavier snow bands that will move through. Here's a check on your 8-day forecast, and we'll be looking at those alert days starting tonight and then continue into tomorrow. So we'll keep that in the forecast there. But then after that, behind that system that's giving us the snowy weather, our temperatures are going to drop. In fact, we're going to be near seasonable for this time of the year, Friday through Sunday for the rest of the week there, but still cloudy skies will linger as well as into next week. More of the same, mainly cloudy skies and near seasonable temperatures as well. Stay tuned though, we're back with much more news and weather that's still to come here on News 8 Now this morning. But for now, we're sending you to break with a look at what happened on this day in history for January 18th. We'll be right back. Much drier conditions here this morning compared to yesterday, though, right? Current temperatures in the meantime are into those low to mid 30s. We're seeing 34 right now in La Crosse. We can see everywhere else here this morning, anywhere between around the upper 20s to those extreme low 30s. Let's get a check now on your dog walking conditions here for the morning. Cloudy skies, that's going to linger in here into the afternoon and may even linger, well, it will linger into the evening hours. But what I was trying to say is that we could be looking at a few snow showers that may sneak in mainly to the south here as we head into those early evening hours. So watch out for that if you and your furry friend are out there walking. But stay tuned though. I'll be back with a check on your commute forecast. That'll be coming up next in weather.
Welcome to the Blitz. High school hoops are heating up here in mid-January. It's always fun to see conference rivals go head-to-head. That's exactly what we got last night in the MVC at Central High School. Conference foes clashing in La Crosse. Aquinas taking the short trip to battle the Riverhawks. First half, Blue Golds red hot from downtown. Autumn Purcell, left side, splashes home the 3. Aquinas up 6. Then it's Maddie Murphy going to work. Same result, 3 more for the Blue Golds. They're up 11. Riverhawks trying to rally back. Brittany Mislivacek putting in 2 of her team high 21 on the night. That cuts it back to 8. But Purcell quiets the home crowd here. Another triple for the senior. Blue Golds take an 18-point lead. Central trying to stay in the fight. Brooklyn Lockington puts up a prayer and it's answered. Then check this out, a little Jordan shrug at the end. Riverhawks cut it to 15 at the break, but then it's the freshman taking over. Sammy Davis doing it all, coast to coast. Count it, +1. And Davis was just getting started later in the half. Baseline drive, hoop, and the harm. Game high 22 for the freshman. Blue Golds blow past the rival Riverhawks 75-47. Let's go to the Cooley Conference. Luther hosting Westby Tuesday night. First half action here. Westby's Kennedy Brigham finds Jada Berg open for the long 2. Norsemen take a 2-point lead. Luther responds. Erin Bateman finding Alexandra Zittel for 3. Knights, they go up by 3. Then later on, Westby's Kenzie Stelner makes the move here to get open. She's going to tie the game back up. More from the Knights. Macy Neumeister is going to find Mackenzie Van Loon open in the post for 2. But how about Westby? The Norsemen get the hard-fought conference win on the road, 35-31. West Salem girls looking to keep their undefeated record intact, hosting number 6 ranked Prairie du Chien. Early first half, PDC pushing down the court. Tegan Radloff pushing up the floor, a couple passes, sets up Shayla Straka for the triple. Blackhawks lead by 1. Panthers respond. Brinley Kelly driving towards the paint. The sophomore pulls up for the tough mid-range 2. Home team back on top. Prairie starts to pull away though. Tegan Radloff connects with Tanner Radloff in the paint. The sophomore ducks a defender, goes off the glass for 2. PDC goes on to win it, 66-60. West Salem boys are the top team in Division III. They hosted Logan last night. First half, Rangers trying to rattle the Panthers. Eli Stovall good from 3. We're all tied at 11. But West Salem would find their groove. Kyle Healy dishes into the corner, gets it back. The sophomore good from downtown. Panthers pull away 87-56. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
A flight from New Zealand landed at Sydney Airport on Wednesday, according to tracking service Flight Radar 24, after it had issued a distress signal. Emergency vehicles were on standby, trailed the plane shortly after it touched down on the runway at the airport. An airport spokeswoman says the flight had issued a Mayday alert and 12 fire trucks were on standby as a precaution before the plane was landed. January 17 marked quite a particular celebration in Spain, and it's all about pets. Thousands of people line up outside a church so their furry and not so furry friends can be blessed by a priest. It's all in celebration of St. Anthony's Day, the patron saint of animals. Madrid's St. Anthony Church says between 10 and 12,000 pets are blessed by its priest every year. Pet owners ask St. Anthony for health and long and lengthy lives for their pets. Well, speaking of pets, according to the Academy of Sleep Medicine, almost half of Americans sleep with their pets. Researchers give it a mixed review in terms of how it affects sleep quality. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield went to get a veterinarian's opinion.
Many agree having a pet at our side makes our days better, and for some, the nights too.
Where does Olive sleep? In bed with us every night. Honestly, on top of me.
Where does Archie sleep?
Archie sleeps in bed with my husband and me.
My husband would disagree. He would prefer to sleep with just us, but she's such a good snuggler.
I feel definitely more comfortable when he's there.
So does Dr. Lindsay Merkel at the University of Minnesota Vet School.
So how many dogs sleep in your bed?
In our bed, 4 Chihuahuas and 1 miniature dachshund.
So 5 dogs in one bed.
5 dogs with two humans. Yeah, my husband and I.
So you may not be surprised to hear her answer to our question.
Should we let our dogs sleep with us?
Given everything that we understand about the benefits that we can gain from having animals in our bed sleeping with us, I think, yes, having them sleep with us is a great idea.
So it can calm us, both of us, when we sleep together.
Yeah, it seems to bring out the beneficial hormones that we need for stress relief and, you know, feeling good about ourselves, the dopamine and the oxytocin.
The Mayo Clinic did some research too. A sleep study tracked dogs sleeping in the bedroom and their humans. The study says having the dog in the bed can disrupt sleep, but having the dog on the floor by the bed does not. But as long as you don't have allergies and they don't have parasites, Dr. Merkel says it's okay to go all in.
It seems like the proof is that having them in your bed is actually beneficial for both of you.
I think a lot of our viewers are going to love it.
Exactly, I'm sure they are.
It's supposed to just be soothing for anxiety. I didn't know that.
So you're not doing bad things.
No.
It's calming, there's dopamine.
I'm actually going to have to share that fact with my husband.
See, Archie, we were right all along.
Now I have an actual fact to convince him that we're doing the right thing.
We're being healthy for each other.
Yep. So snuggle in and don't look back.
Merkel says cats are okay too, but many of them seem less interested in co-sleeping, and that's actually true. I recently adopted a cat from Cooley Humane Society, and my cat will just fall asleep on the couch, but she will not fall asleep next to me. Veterans in suicidal crisis can now go to any VA or non-VA healthcare facility to get free emergency treatment. This expansion also includes free inpatient or crisis residential care for up to 30 days and outpatient care for up to 90 days. Veterans don't have to be enrolled in the VA system to use it. It's all part of the VA and Biden administration's efforts to reduce veteran suicide rates. The director of Great Rivers 211 says veterans now won't have to worry about the cost of seeking help, and it could make the calls they receive even more helpful.
This will be an additional point of conversation that we can have with people, that you don't have to wait to get into your VA center. You can go to your local healthcare center and get support.
Lundeen says both Gunderson and Mayo offer free support lines. Veterans can also dial 988 and press 1 for a suicide prevention hotline specifically for veterans. We have all of that information posted on our website and this new nationwide policy at news8000.com. A partnership between Mayo Clinic Health System and La Crosse Boys and Girls Club is helping kids get help when they need it. It's been in place for 7 years, and now it's expanding its reach. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen explains why tackling mental health starts at an early age and matters.
This community partnership hopes to expand its mission of meeting kids where they are. We all deserve a spot to connect.
You can do projects, watch movies, a whole lot of stuff. Get to be free and be myself.
We also deserve a place to feel heard.
It's like pressure that's leaving you because you know there's someone that always has your back.
For Mackenzie, Zanaya, and hundreds of other kids, mental health services at the Boys and Girls Club give them both.
They go through hard things in life that can make it hard to reach their full potential, and that's why I do what I do, to help unlock their potential.
Lakita Becker has spent 7 years working directly with the kids.
So I think we're seeing more anxiety and depression symptoms, more behavioral concerns, and even more substance use in our youth population. And so I think these roles are crucial more now than ever.
Becker and other youth and family specialists bring necessary care to the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, mental health is critically important for the health of our communities, and we want to start with youth.
A focused mission, now with Becker at the helm.
How can we identify kids who are struggling sooner? Because the sooner you can identify them, the sooner you can get them connected to the resources and supports that they need.
Forming connections, when and where it matters. Becker hopes to eventually have a specialist present in every club. In the Boys and Girls Club, I'm Emily Haugen for News 8 Now.
Thanks, Emily. The 3 specialists and Director Becker are Mayo employees who work right alongside kids at these clubs, and these services don't put any added cost on family members. In additional mental health news, Mayo Clinic is working to better serve Native Americans who are seeking health care. Mayo Clinic's Experience Ambassador Valerie Decora Guarmares is a registered nurse at Mayo Clinic. Her job focuses on making sure Indigenous patients are connected to resources needed to help pay for health care and serve as a bridge between patients, care providers, and spiritual leaders. She says patients will often want to seek advice from tribal medicine men as well.
My biggest challenge is helping healthcare teams realize that there are other ways of knowing, and that that patients really need to be empowered to make those decisions themselves. It's respecting those beliefs and those values.
Mayo Clinic in Rochester has a smudging room set up for Native Americans to pray during inpatient stays. Guamares says Mayo is also sending out kits to their branches that contain items for prayer, including sacred plants and a blessed eagle feather. Well, this forecast has truly been a mixed bag lately, which is putting some winter activities in the lurch. This happens to be this week of the 2nd annual snow sculpting contest in Stillwater. These are images of last year's event when it was below 0. But as Susan Elizabeth Littlefield shows us, despite a much different weather story this year, the show will go on.
Despite the warmth.
Yeah, we could use a little cooler temperatures.
And the rain. Stillwater is busy prepping to roll out the white carpet.
The snow kind of shrunk a little bit, so we were a little nervous earlier on if we were going to have enough snow, but we were going to have enough snow.
Setup is underway for the World Snow Sculpting 5-day event. They're plowing forward persistently, despite the consistency.
It's like sculpting slush almost right now.
John, a Stillwater native, and his team are prepping an exhibit sculpture to welcome the world to this logging town.
We're making a lumberjack holding a globe.
But with the weather, it's tricky.
It's very sticky and it's really dense. So it's really good snowball weather, but it's kind of not that great for sculpting.
Basically what it comes down to is the texture of this type of snow is bad because it's so fragile. But the good side is it's extra easy to sculpt.
But they've got workarounds. Afton Alps helped make these 10 by 10 molds full of snow. And it may look like there are packers on it, but on this side of the river, they're called stompers. And they are ready for a hardy competition.
Finland, Mexico, Turkey, Germany, so 8 different countries are coming out, a couple U.S. teams, so we're really excited.
They'll use intricate hand tools and sculpt around the clock for the next 4 days. Neither rain nor heat will keep them from the snow or the show.
Those events will go on all the way through Sunday, and I know that we have an alert day for snow, so Derek, can you help them out with this weather?
Hey, Dua. Yeah, in fact, we actually got quite a bit of snow expected to move into the area for tonight. So we're going to get to that here in just a second. But if we take a look outside here from City Cam 8, you can see things are looking quiet here this morning with our current temperatures into those low 30s. 34 right now is the temperature in La Crosse, 33 in Black River Falls, and 33 as well in Eau Claire, 32 degrees currently in Viroqua. So if we get a check now on your forecast overall today, it's going to be 38. So overall pretty mild start here, cloudy skies, northeast winds at around 10 to 15. Now for tonight, here comes the snow. And in fact, some of that snow may even turn heavy at times as well as it comes down. 27 will be the low here too. Northeast winds at 10 to 15. So for your driving conditions right now, things are looking okay, but there is a little bit of some partially covered roadways to the north and also down towards the south and east here across the area. So just keep that in mind. That was more than likely from yesterday's event here. We did have a little bit of precipitation move through, but overall cloudy skies for the morning. That should continue into your lunch hour. So green lights there. Things are looking good. But as we head towards the evening hours, most locations will be cloudy here on that evening commute back around the 5-6 o'clock hours, so during the rush hour time. But some snow is possible down towards the south. And we'll talk about that and the timing of everything coming up in just a bit. Dua?
Great, thanks, Derek. A beloved sitcom from the 80s and early 90s is back, including an actor who won 4 straight Emmy Awards for that show, coming up after the break.
Well, conditions this morning are looking a lot drier compared to yesterday, but that is expected to change here later today. We'll get to that in just a second. Live look there from City Cam 8, off to a quiet start here this morning with cloudy skies overhead now in La Crosse, temperatures at around 34 degrees. Let's get a check now on those current conditions to the north now in Eau Claire. Also looking cloudy here for you, temperatures at 33. Visibility, though, in our favor at around 10 miles, so no visibility concerns there. Our current temperatures, the way we stand right now, are into those low to mid 30s. Some areas looking a little bit cooler than some spots, like Winona currently at 32. But meanwhile, the rest of us here this morning into the mid 30s. Let's get checked down on those forecast highs today. Going to be yet another mild day today as high temperatures will pick up into those mid to upper 30s. In fact, La Crosse today, very close to that 40-degree mark once again with a high here for you today of around 38 degrees. Now, cloudy skies will be with us all throughout the day with those temperatures holding steady pretty much into those mid 30s as well. Now, as we head towards 8 o'clock this evening, we'll be around 32 degrees and also some light snow showers may begin to trickle their way into the Coulee region. And it's all thanks to this low pressure system that continues to develop right across the south central United States. And in fact, there's a couple of features going on. Got some stormy weather here on the southeast side of the slough, but here's what we're focusing on, the north side of the slough. And that is where most of the snow is currently ongoing across much of the south central U.S., especially over portions of Nebraska right now. They're actually getting hammered with some pretty heavy snow here. All this activity, too, by the way, is expected to move in our general direction. And because of this, the National Weather Service has issued multiple winter weather alerts that are currently in effect. We got winter weather advisories, winter storm watches, and winter storm warnings for the central United States and also eastward towards the Midwest, including us here in the Coulee region, where we have been upgraded now to a winter storm warning. Now, this is going to start at 9 p.m. tonight and then go until 6 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. That's because we are expecting some heavy snow around here. And also, there's winter weather advisories concentrated down down towards the south here too. So plenty of alerts there in effect. And we're going to be tracking the system as it continues to move towards the east. You can see that it will be continuing to spawn plenty of snow across the central U.S. And then by the time we reach 11 o'clock, that's when we start to tap into some of that snow energy here too. Now, as we take you into tomorrow afternoon, it looks like a lot of that snow, at least the heavy snow, should come to a close. Maybe a few leftover scattered snow showers across portions of the area. And then by Friday morning, a lot of this is going to come to a close. In fact, a lot of it's gone because that low is positioned to the east. We'll be on the back side, so much drier air as high pressure begins to settle in and gets rid of all the precipitation. So let's time it out a little bit more locally now. Taking you into around 6 o'clock. A lot of the snow here beginning to move in across our southern zones. But by the time we reach overnight tonight, around midnight or so, a lot of that snow becomes more widespread. And some of this overnight tonight may turn heavy here at times here too. So something to keep in mind. Around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, still dealing with a lot of snow here across the area. And even as we head into late tomorrow morning and also into the afternoon tomorrow, things will still continue to remain a little bit on the snowy side. But by 6 p.m., a lot of this is going to come to a close, maybe a few leftover scattered snow showers in some spots. Now, as far as how much snow we could see here, pretty significant totals, around 4 to 8 inches, with locally higher totals also possible at times in some spots, especially in some of those heavier bands that may begin to set up here across the Coulee region with that system here moving in our general direction. As far as your 8-day forecast is concerned, after that snow moves out of here, we are looking mainly cloudy here still. So unfortunately, we're not going to see a whole lot of sunshine as those clouds will stick around here, but high temperatures will drop into the upper 20s to low 30s here for the rest of this week after Thursday, which is more seasonable for this time of the year.
Reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley reported to 2 separate federal prisons on Tuesday. The Chrisley Knows Best stars were found guilty of evading taxes and conspiracy to defraud banks out of more than $30 million in fraudulent loans. Todd was sentenced to 12 years to a Florida prison, while Julie was sentenced to 7 years to a prison in Kentucky. It will be a far cry from the lavish lifestyle the Atlanta reality stars became known for.
I moved here for a job. I am the new night court judge.
Night Court is back in session. Melissa Rauch plays Judge Abby Stone, daughter of the late Harry Anderson's original judge, Harry Stone, alongside the return of multiple Emmy winner John Larroquette as Dan Fielding, the prosecutor turned public defender. Well, we're heading to break with today's Look Who's 8. Happy 8th birthday to Jade. She loves everything girly and is a smart and caring girl. Happy birthday, Jade. I love her outfit. Happy 80th birthday to Robert. When he's not working on the farm, Bob enjoys boating with his family and playing his accordion at many local nursing homes in the area. That is so sweet. If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old, we'd love to feature them. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com. Look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website. Well, stay with us. We'll have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is up next. Time for your morning news now. Nearly 40% of Americans say they skipped or put off seeking medical care last year due to high costs, according to a new Gallup poll. That's a 12-point increase over the previous year amid the highest inflation rate in more than 4 decades. The survey found low-income Americans were more likely to delay receiving care, with 27% of respondents admitting they skipped treatments for very or somewhat serious illnesses. Mayo Clinic is working to better serve Native Americans who are seeking health care. Mayo Clinic's Ambassador Valerie Decora Guarmares is a registered nurse at Mayo Clinic. Her job focuses on making sure Indigenous patients are connected to resources needed to help pay for health care and serve as a bridge between patients' care providers and spiritual leaders. She says patients will often seek advice from tribal medicine men as well.
My biggest challenge is helping healthcare teams realize that there are other ways of knowing, and that that patients really need to be empowered to make those decisions themselves. It's respecting those beliefs and those values.
Mayo Clinic in Rochester has a smudging room to set up for Native Americans to pray during inpatient stays. Guamarez says Mayo is also sending out kits to their branches that contain items for prayer, including sacred plants and a blessed eagle feather. Lacrosse students are hosting a special screening of a film at the Rivoli later today. The film is called Sold. It's based on real stories of people being trafficked. Before the film starts, there will be a presentation by Restorative Inc., a Cooley Region nonprofit that helps with free tattoo and branding removal for victims of human trafficking. The movie starts at 7:30 p.m. and is free, but donations will be accepted. We'll have more information on news8000.com. And lacrosse is making close ties with friends from across the globe. Today at noon, Mayor Mitch Reynolds will make lacrosse's sister city friendship with Junglinster, Luxembourg official. Junglinster will be lacrosse's 8th sister city. It will also be the first time lacrosse has done a virtual signing of a sister city document. The public is welcome to attend this meeting in person at City Hall or stream it virtually. And during your morning commute, you may notice flashing green lights on Wisconsin snowplows this winter. Only county and municipal snowplows are permitted to use fluorescent green warning lights in addition to red or amber lights. The green lights will improve visibility, and when driving, please give snowplows room to work. And Derek, will there be a lot of snowplows ahead of, tomorrow, considering that it's an alert day?
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, especially after that snow starts here tonight, you'll probably run into them on your morning commute tomorrow because it looks like a lot of that heavy snow will come in during the overnight hours, and that will continue throughout much of the afternoon tomorrow too. But then after that, the rest of the week does look pretty cloudy, Dua, and we got seasonal temperatures behind that system here too, with highs into those low 30s, as you can see there on the map, and our low temperatures dropping into the teens starting later this week too. So we'll be getting a little cooler.
I'm surprised at the amount of snow that we haven't gotten this year. I feel like we had that one large stretch of that one blizzard,
right?
And then
it was just calm after that.
Yeah. We had that one day where it was so warm out. I was like, oh my God, winter's over, but it's not. We still have so much time.
Yeah, there's still a little bit more to come, and this winter storm kind of lets you know that hey, winter is not technically over yet. We still got a lot more to go.
I know. I keep hoping. I'm like, we're in the final stretch. We're in the final stretch, but we're not.
I'm not there yet.
We still have February, and sometimes it even snows in March.
I know, it's crazy around here in the Midwest.
You never get used to it.
Gotta love it, though. Plus severe weather.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with news of the day on news8000.com, and we'll have the latest update on today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. We hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining us, and we hope that you'll spend tomorrow and wake up with us tomorrow as well. All right.